Hi, welcome to Salt City Knits. I'm Emily, and this is a podcast all about my making life. I'm excited to be back with you today, and I have some no finished objects, but I just have works in progress and some shop news to share with you today. So let's just dive right in. First of all, you can find me at all the links that are in the description box below this video. I'm pretty much everywhere as Yarnbrary or Salt City Knits. And I was just looking back and realizing it's now been 2.5 years, crazy, since I started this solo podcast. So my sister Deborah and I recorded at Meanwhile at the Castle for, I don't know, 4 or 5, I think 5 years before that. So it's just kind of crazy that it's been that long that I've been in this kind of YouTube podcasting world, and it's a lot of fun. So thank you for everybody who joins me each time, and I'm excited to share some fun projects with you. So a little bit of life update, not a lot to say actually. I'm finally all better. I've been dealing with health issues and being sick and everything, but feeling great. So that is a huge relief, and just lots of work and life, books, knitting, you know how it goes. I'm continuing on with my health journey and doing great there. I'm down 28 pounds. So that has been just a wonderful thing in my life, and lots more to go. So we'll just keep plugging along. All right. I have 3 works in progress to share with you. So first up, I think this is going to be kind of a short episode today. I have made a ton of progress on my wrap that I am making. And it is all crumpled up. So give me a second here. This wrap is inspired by, but not really knit according to the pattern of, the Windseeker stola, and I just realized I'm in the middle of a row, so one moment. So this wrap is inspired by the Windseeker stola, and but I've kind of just taken the inspiration and then just made up my own thing. So what I have showed originally, let's see if I can give you an overview. First, I knit this triangle, and then I increased it out to this rectangle here. And these stitches right here were all on hold, so all along here. Then I went and I cast on and knit this triangle. And then I knit a little bit of extra space in here, and then I grafted it together, and you can see it's really interesting. And I've seen this in progress photos on the Ravelry page for the Windseeker stola, that it has kind of some interesting bends in it before it's blocked. So I'm really trusting that it's gonna block out, really hoping that that's gonna look good, because right now I'm not super happy with how that's looking. But I grafted it together right here along this line. So it is getting ginormous. Oh, that just, there we go. All the way across to here, which is where I'm working from now. So I'm now on this end, and I'm going to work on this and then finish off my triangle, or my, my rectangle. I'm getting close to the point where this part is going to start decreasing in this way, and this will keep on going like that to make the corner. But it is enormous now, and I cannot imagine when it blocks how much bigger it's going to be. I'm really happy with how this end, all the grafting, here, let's see, worked out there. There's ends to be woven in and so on, but it's a nice clean straight across edge. So I'm really, really hopeful that this kind of ski-wampus end is gonna block out okay, because right now it's bendy. And all it is we're changing the bias of the fabric. So the bias keeps shifting. Right here, the bias is running this direction up until the center seam, at which point it starts to run this direction to this center seam, and then it starts running this direction again. And so the grain of the fabric shifts like that. So it's kind of making it have this little bit of a shape to it. So I'm pretty sure when I block it, I'll use blocking wires and everything. I'm pretty sure it's going to straighten it out there. Hopefully. This is a lot of knitting, lace weight. It's all lace weight. It's a lace weight alpaca. I've talked about this the last several episodes. So just quickly, Snowdrift alpacas. It's 100% alpaca, 440 yards to 50 grams. And I'm using these 3 colors, which I think are just beautiful. They have this very soft halo, but nothing like a mohair or a Surrey. Just a very gentle halo. Oh, so pretty. The yarn is absolutely gorgeous. And it was the inspiration that it was the point of knitting this, was because I specifically wanted to use this yarn to make this. Now, I say it's inspired by the Windseeker Stola, and I'm not using the pattern. There's a couple things I didn't like. I'm doing, my increases are different than the way the pattern is written. And I'm knitting the I-cord concurrent to the I-cord edging is just being knit as I go. And I just am doing color changes however I like. So we've got all the stripes section, then more color blocking, and then more of a kind of little stripes, then more color blocking. And now we're doing wide stripes, and those wide stripes are going to continue to the end. The yarn is absolutely lovely, and it really is the inspiration behind this project. My friend Sina, who's in my knitting group, knit a Windseeker Stola out of this yarn base, yarn that she purchased from the same ranch from Snowdrift Alpacas. And she made it, I think she got her yarn, I want to say in 2024 at the Great Basin Fiber Arts Fair, and knit it and brought it to our knit night. And I was just like, oh, it's so beautiful. I really want to make that. So at Great Basin Fiber Arts Fair this year, I picked up yarn from the same people and with this express idea to do this. So I think I'll have it done next time. I'm getting pretty close on it. And so as long as I don't get too distracted with other things, I think I should have it next time. And we'll see how it blocks out. That will be the real answer. Like I said, I've got lots of ends to weave in. I've got to finish the knitting on it. But the blocking is going to really be where the magic happens, I'm sure. So that is really coming along. Okay. I also think I showed these last time. Yes, I'm pretty sure I did. I cast on these socks last week, and I showed them on my last episode. They were just barely started. I'm having a tangly day. It is just not going well for me, guys, today. I have just gotten tangled so many times. Okay. I'm not flying smoothly today, but I think I had just done the cuff and one row of the green. And I'm now to the point where I am going to switch and do a longer contrast section before I start my decreases. So I'm going to start knitting with this color again. Just because I want to make sure this is leftovers, I want to make sure I've got enough yarn to match my socks. But I think they're turning out really great. This again, this green yarn is from Candy Shop Yarns, and it was part of her Bloom Bonbon Minis set. And then I actually had her, I special ordered the 3 of the colors from that set in full skeins so I could do my Stephen West Mystery Knit Along from 2022 with it. And I had quite a bit left over of this green color, so it's really fun. I think it might be called like Snowdrop or Crocus, or is it Snowdrop? I think it's Snowdrop, but I don't have a label for it. So regardless, it's beautiful. And then just this mini, I don't even know where I got this mini. I've had it in my stash for some time. So it might have been in a trade. It might have been in an advent. I don't think I dyed it. Maybe I did. I don't actually know. So I'm working on that pair of socks. And these are great because they're just great for movie knitting, which has been fun. My daughter and I finished rewatching all of Stranger Things this week. And I got quite a bit of knitting on both of these projects while we were watching that show. So that was fun. And now we have to wait clear till November for the wrap up of that series, or that, yeah, for the final season. It's been fun though, because it's been very, like, there's so much nostalgia in that show. I mean, when it comes down to it, there's a lot of gruesome stuff. It's a horror, a very kitschy horror TV series, but it just, there's so much, like, because it's set in the 80s, there's so much clothes and music and home decor and hairstyles and cars and all things that are 80s that have been, it's just kind of fun. Walk down memory lane. Now, because I am a sucker for lace weight, apparently lately, and I mentioned this last time, but I really wanted to cast on another really complicated lacy shawl. When I say complicated, I think it's more about ones that look really elaborate. It doesn't necessarily mean that the knitting itself has to be super complicated, but I mean, it is. I want all over lace. I want it to take my attention. I want to have to read every line, which, you know, I've got things like this one, the socks, and things like this one that are just stockinette for scratching that itch. So I've cast on a new shawl, and I went back and forth about whether I was going to design a new shawl right now or if I was just going to knit one. And I've decided to just knit one. So I have spent a lot of time looking at patterns, and I had very quickly zeroed in on the fact that I wanted to knit an Anna Victoria pattern. If you are familiar with Anna Victoria, she designs very, very beautiful, lacy, very often beaded lace weight shawls. I mean, I think you can do them in other weights, but that's what they're designed for. And her website is bythelilypond.com. And what I have chosen to knit, and I was going to show you the pattern, but there's a lot of pattern information on the front page along with the photos. So I'm just going to insert a photo here. This is called the Diamonds and Rust Lace Shawl. A lot of her shawls, she pictures the samples knit in gradient yarns. So yarns that have been dyed in a gradient so that the color changes are happening very, very gradually. And they're just, you know, they gradiate from one to another, which is really beautiful. But I wanted to knit this in just a solid color. And so I found this picture of one of these shawls, not in a gradient, that I thought was just absolutely gorgeous. I love the beading. I love the all over pattern, the shape, and especially the border. And so I decided that that's what I was going to do. So when it came down to yarn, if you remember, I kept trying to decide what I wanted to make with my Beach Reads collection. And I kept saying that my favorite of those colors is the lake house. So I ended up dyeing some lace weight. Here, come on, focus. There we go. Of the lake house. This is an 80-20 merino silk blend. And it has 875 yards to 100 grams. So it's quite a fine lace weight, but not like a cobweb. And I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I love how it turned out. It's got a lovely sheen. I actually used the same yarn base for my daughter Aria's wedding shawl. And if I can find a picture fairly quickly, I will put that in right here. But I think that one turned out really pretty. So I've caked up a skein of this. And I just have cast it on and started. And so, let me see if I can show you very well. This is how far, how far I am so far. I'm using these tiny little check glass beads. They are 8.0 beads. I got these at Michael's, check seed beads, and they're in the crystal with red lined. They say red lined, but it's definitely reading like a rosy here. Reading like a rosy, it's not gonna focus. Rosy pink. So that is how it is going. Just a little baby beginning. Now putting those tiny little beads onto the yarn, I am using the teensiest, tiniest little crochet hook. And it is, this is one of my grandmother's crochet hooks that she used to use to crochet all kinds of lace edgings on things. This one says that it is a boy number 12, and on the back it says 10 cents. So a number 12, I don't actually know what size that is. These tiny little crochet steel hooks, let's see if I can get it to focus. Wow, it is really not going to focus. Too tiny. It's tiny. Let's just say that. Like you can barely even feel that there's a barb on the end of it. So it is a slow, careful process. But I can put like 5 or 6 beads on the neck of this crochet hook. Let's see how many. I think I prefer 4 or 5. I could probably fit up to 7 on there, but I've got like 4 little beads on there right now. And here, let me try something. Okay, I've tried changing my settings so we could actually see that little hook. Yeah, it's pretty tiny. I think the biggest thing is that it just takes time to put all those beads on. And there are somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,200 beads. It depends on how many repeats I do of one of the lace patterns. But there's going to be a lot of beads. So it's going to be amazing. I don't know how long it'll take me, but I'm already loving it and having so much fun with it. It just makes my brain light up. So that is what I have on the needles. That's really it. Can you believe it? I can't, honestly. I feel like I need to immediately cast on a sweater. I'm gonna wait until I finish my wrap, then I could cast on a sweater. Although I told myself I was gonna wait until I finished my wrap before I cast it on this project. And we all see how that went. Oh my goodness, you guys. So I have no good book news. I am still just slowly chipping away at The Exiles by Jane Harper. And I kind of thought I would have finished that like within a couple days, but I just haven't been into it. I don't know. I've read it before, and I reread a lot of the Jane Harper books this year and then thought I was going to be all excited, and it just hasn't quite caught my attention yet, but I know it will. And then I'll just be like, plow through it. But I've also just been obsessively listening to like a lot of great 70s music, like Fleetwood Mac and the Doobie Brothers and Carly Simon and Old Heart, like the old early stuff, the good stuff. Anyway, just been having a lot of fun listening to good music lately too. So that's what I've been doing. Listening to music, knitting, dancing around my house like a crazy person. It's been all good. So that's all I have for you to this time as far as projects go. And as far as shop news goes, the only really things I want to mention, first of all, is just that there's a few more days left for my summer stock up sale for all my authors colors. And that goes through June 30th. And I'm recording this on the 27th. I'm hoping to get this video posted also on the 27th. So there's just a couple more days left. 20% off of all of my authors semi-solid colors. And those are available on 7 different bases. So this is a great opportunity to stock up on things, especially things you think you might be needing in the fall, that might be bigger projects. This is your time to grab those. And I have just a few of my Americana sock sets left. I think there may be 3 of those left. And I also have just a few of my Beach Reads collection available. I have some that are in ready to ship. So I think just a couple of those sets in ready to ship as far as the full sets. And then I have dyed to order as well for the Beach Reads. And I think that is everything. So, there's still like, I don't know, maybe 8 openings or something for my Christmas countdown box as well, based on It's a Wonderful Life. So if you are interested in any of those things, there are links in the description box of this video, and I am excited to share them with you. I hope you have so much fun in this upcoming week with all of your making. For us, we have the 4th of July coming up in a week, and I have no idea what we're doing to celebrate. I haven't made any plans yet whatsoever. It will probably involve a barbecue of some sort, maybe some fireworks, although we'll see, because wildfires have been bad. And, there's zero interest in my life in adding to that. I'm sure it'll involve my family in some way. I really don't even know what I'm going to be doing yet. But I hope whatever you are doing, that it's wonderful. And I will talk to you again very soon. Bye-bye.